Hi, this is Chris.
And this is Brian.
And we are the hosts of Inner Demons, the Ghost Rider podcast.
And you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and other podcast apps for all your Ghost Rider needs.
Right on.
Yes, welcome back, Looney listeners. This is a sneaky little episode. We've fit this one in. This is episode 71, and we are working towards the new moon. So the phase is a new moon, and we just could not ignore a quick little review of a Moon Knight-ish book. It is the Infinity Warp's ARACH-KNIGHT miniseries. So I am your High Priest Ray, and joining me on this Thursday night, we'll call it, because that's when it will come out, is High Priest Rebecca. Rebecca, hello.
Hello.
Hello, this
Hello.
is... Yeah. This
Bobbed
is
off Connor for the week.
Yeah, Connor Shue. He's been missing. Hopefully he's okay. I look forward to hearing from him soon as well. I would have mind to get his thoughts on ARACH-KNIGHT. I mean, it was a pretty fun issue for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. Have you read any of the other Infinity War?
Yeah, I really liked Iron Hammer. I didn't read. Yeah, I didn't read Soldier Supreme.
Very good.
Is that very good? Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Oh, okay. I've got to get that because I was vastly disappointed with Weapon Hex. I got that. And
well, I made this. I decided I wasn't going to buy any of them. I was just going to get the trade because they're coming. If anyone who doesn't know, they're coming out as a collected trade, and I was like, "Oh, it's a nice idea. I'll just get the trade." And then two of my favorite characters that are Moon Knight are Captain America and Iron Man. So I was like, I'll just try the number ones, see what they're like. So they got ordered.
Yeah.
And then Sleepwalker I was always going to buy because I like Sleepwalker. And it seemed like more of a hefty. It's not really... It's got warps in it, but it's more, meaty towards the event. And then by then there was only Weapon Hex I wasn't getting. So I was like, well, I'll try it. But I kind of agree. Weapon Hex has been the weakest.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear that it's going to be collected. I wouldn't mind getting it as a collection.
Yeah. I'm still thinking about it because it's always going to be a fun one to show people.
Yeah, and it is fun. I mean, we'll get into ARACH-KNIGHT as well, and albeit an origin story, just everything is really fun and new to discover. Like we'll get,
it really is like going back to the Secret Wars battlegrounds. But in a slightly different way because there is a narrative point to why they're melded together.
Yeah, but also it's good because you don't have to be totally invested in why. It can be just like seen as a fun kind of thing. That's the way I see it. And similar to like the Secret Wars thing that you were saying, that battle world, that was a lot of fun as well. You can easily just jump in and it's unfettered because you don't have the weight of the history of the characters. And
I like the idea of writers and artists having a bit of fun. That doesn't have to be in rigid continuity.
Yeah.
Occasionally, because they're creative people and they're gonna think. So a lot of the time, the origin bits are a little bit like, but then the second issues have sort of made more of a point about what makes the characters special.
Yeah, and this one is it a 4-parter? Do you know or?
No, I think this is just a 2-part. I think it's only Sleepwalker that gets 4 parts. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's okay then.
But they're coming together in the main book.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So they'll all be in Infinity Wars.
Yeah, and there's that beautiful cover by Mark Brooks.
Yeah.
For issue 6, the final of it. And have you been following Infinity Wars? I might just get that in trade as well. I collect that in trade.
I kind of have, but I only have because I was already tied up. I read all the run up to it, and I was like, well, if I'm buying all these Infinity Warps, I should probably have a vague idea what's going on. But I'm getting them all digitally, and I sort of do it on a weekly basis based on how much money I have, and some of them I've read a week late, and but I'm vaguely up to date with it.
Okay, because it is quite involved, from what I understand.
Yeah.
The crux of it is Gamora has done something to the universe.
Yeah, Gamora got all the stones, knocked off Thanos.
He's dead.
She's
right.
She's kind of mad because she was trapped in the Soul Stone for so long, and then she does the same as you saw him do in Infinity Everything.
Yeah.
War, if you're talking films, not War if you're talking comics. And instead of doing the snap and killing half of life, she kind of folds them together, which is why we have these warps.
Pretty cool. So I'm interested to see the Soldier Supreme.
It's really good. It's also, I guess, because it was the first one, so it's had its issue 2, and it ties in quite well with the event.
Okay, great. And did it wrap things up well? I mean, 2-parters are really hard to do, I'd imagine.
Well, the first part is like, I don't know if it's going to be... Iron Hammer was slightly different, I think, because it stayed very origin-y throughout.
Yes, yeah.
But the first part with Soldier Supreme was kind of the origin, and the second part got him to a point where he kind of realised what's happened.
Okay.
And now he's going off to try and help.
Oh, right.
Which is, I guess, where they'll all end up. So
yeah, you've actually just reminded me. I actually have yet to read the Iron Hammer Part 2, so that's probably why.
Oh, it's really good.
Yeah,
it's
good?
really
Okay.
nice. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, we've got that as digital. That should be good. So as you can tell, Loonies, we're going to go through ARACH-KNIGHT. It is obviously connected to Moon Knight, a bit more leaning towards the Spider-Man elements, but I do love how they incorporate Moon Knight's aspects.
They got a lot of Moon Knight baddies and stuff in there as well.
Yeah,
Snuck in. Yeah, I think they're some of the cleverest mashups.
I love
not the cutest one. The cutest one's in Sleepwalker, but some of the cleverest ones, I think.
Was Sleepwalker
the
one...
names just seem to go well together.
Yeah, was Sleepwalker the one with Fin Fang Foom?
Scott Banner
Scott Banner and the Man Thing and Man Thing. Yeah, that was cool. That's one of the best things I think about these these Infinity Warps things is that the baddies, because you don't really I don't really think about them.
Some of them I've been struggling with.
Okay.
Like to name who they are, and then you're like, oh, okay. Because they really are pulling on some like fairly obscure ones. I think in the main Infinity Warps book, I think that's the one that had some of the craziest.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so you're just like, oh, okay. Like I haven't seen them for a long time, and then suddenly it's a little bit more straightforward in ARACH-KNIGHT.
Yeah, it was just and going just quickly with Infinity Wars. It was just a little hard to. I don't follow it all. They had a lot of preludes and stuff, didn't they?
The preludes were really fun.
Countdown,
but once it started,
Prime, yeah.
Once it started, I just realised it's just too much. It's too much. It's like too much to expect people to buy all of these things.
Yeah,
and the best events have been the really fairly short ones with very few tie-ins.
Yeah,
to me, not in olden times when comics were cheaper, but in recent times, I much prefer a sort of like event with less tie-ins.
Yeah,
maybe a couple of tie-ins. But this is it's just gone on so long.
Would you make
that
this...
I'm kind of I'm enjoying it, but I just kind of wish I'd either waited till the trade or.
Well, yeah, is it trade worthy? Would you pick up the whole trade, like for it?
I think the answer with an event always tends to be how it ends.
Yeah,
because if it ends well and there's a change in the status quo, or there's actually been real consequences, that makes the event, that elevates the event.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've enjoyed reading it, and there doesn't seem as much padding as they have in some events.
Oh, thank
but
God.
There's just a lot of like to take in.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of and then this person, because it's so cosmic and taking on, and there's lots of teams doing different things, and
I guess they want to make it really grand because it is cosmic. They want to make it such an epic scale.
I'm not sure it's hit that kind of this is epic.
Oh, okay.
But so far I still think I think it's readable. I just think that it's just gone on too long. I mean, the fact that there's going to be a trade of the preludes, a trade of the event, a trade of the trade of the tie-ins, it's starting to show its length, and I think they can do better. I think they can do better, not in story necessarily, but in trying to make this easier for people to get into.
Oh, it's just too much to expect someone to collect all, I guess, as well as collect, their standard other stuff. It would make a nice handy omnibus. It would be a nice hardcover, I can imagine,
I think it'll be a nice set of trades, but because omnibuses I find quite hard to read. Sorry, my cats are now fighting in the window.
Excellent.
So if you hear any screams, just assume it's post-Halloween screaming.
Oh, they're worshipping bust.
They really are.
But omnibuses, you're saying, pretty hard to read. So
I find them quite hard to read, but and also the paperback ones are pretty cheap. You can usually pick them up. It'll probably be quite a fun read on Marvel Unlimited, to be honest. Would I recommend somebody had been buying it with the regularity that I have? No. But that's just because I think there's better comics to spend your money on, not because I think it's terrible. So I just it's just, we're all having this thing at the moment. Comics are really expensive. And I don't know anyone who can afford all of the comics they want. And honestly, a lot of these event ones are on the high range of cost as well. They're the $4.99 ones, not the $3.99 ones. And it's a lot of the I'd rather be reading other things, and then they bring out all this other stuff that you want to read as well. It's and that's the other problem with the long event. Is because guaranteed they'll come out with something like Marvel Knights that you'd rather spend your money on, perhaps. Or or the Spider-Geddon if you're into the spiders.
Wasn't there some statement a while ago from Marvel saying that?
I'm not even getting into that. Number one, it was under the previous editor-in-chief.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
and number two, and number two, it was around Secret Empire time. Yeah, and they said no more events for 18 months. There were events way before that, but we're now getting to the 18 months anyway, so we can kind of maybe stop talking about it.
Okay, so there was a time frame that he did. So I forgot. I thought he didn't know.
How long. And then they started, when they started bringing them back, they were doing the shorter ones like Damnation and But then now we get this sprawling one. So
my gosh, so long, so epic. Well, to an extent, as you're saying. But anyway, let's get into it. Before we get into that, Rebecca, I just wanted to. A bit of a shout out and to the Fantasy Comic League, who are part of the collective. Rebecca, have you completed your draft? You know what you're doing, right? You know what you're. No, you don't. You know one or two, right? We discussed.
You only know because we discussed this morning, and I'm like, I probably should not be asking Ray for help, but because he's been doing it longer for me, I guarantee I only say, "What should I do about this?" I've got these are my choices. He never gives me do this, do that, and I go I don't know what powers they've got. What do I do? He got a very funny what powers does Multiple Man have apart from duplication?
Well, what's his Kitty Pryde invisibility? I don't understand that. She's never been invisible, right? No.
If she has, I think it counts as intangibility.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a separate power for her. Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, they give you the characters and they give you a set list of powers to choose from.
It's a lot of fun.
You have to choose 3. Yeah. It is a lot of fun. You have to choose a set of 3, but when you're picking a character that hasn't been used before, or one that hasn't been used much, sometimes there's weird sets of powers. So back when I started, I decided I wanted to pick Reed. and he wasn't on the list. So I'm like, hooray! I'll just make up some powers.
That's hilarious. The funniest thing I thought from Rebecca, I hear from Rebecca, like Rebecca's going, what powers should I get? And you listed out the powers, and then you tell me, oh, I've just made them up. I don't even know if they exist or not. And they probably do.
I didn't realise there were these set lists until 2 months in. But and then I was looking up Madrox under Madrox, and I'm like, he's not there. I don't know what powers he has. And of course he's listed under multiple man.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, he does exist, but I don't really...
Did you check?
I don't understand.
What else does he have besides multiplying?
Well, so here's the thing. I don't think they have multiplication there for him. They have
kind
absorb.
Of his thing.
They have absorb.
Oh, okay. Because that is actually handy, because he does potentially absorb a lot in one issue.
Yeah. They have absorb and creature, and I'm guessing creature's what the multiplication that. But I think that's when you can create creatures, because they have Iceman as well.
Okay.
So I think that's what they call. I think that's replication is creature.
Oh, okay.
Heal, intellect. Like, really?
Intellect?
I mean,
he's kind of sleuthing. He had the Peter David run. He's a bit of a.
They have sleuth for him separately.
Oh, okay.
Melee and personality. I like personality.
Melee, you always got to pick. Which is, don't they always...
Really?
I don't know.
They don't always fight,
No, that's true. Anyway,
I'm two picks in, and Ray's finished his pick. Yeah.
Cool. That's exciting. The only problem is, and we've discussed it, that the length it takes to get it, because you're in all different time zones, and you got to wait for someone before you to draft theirs, and that's the only kind of little downside. But other than that, Loonies, it's a fun thing. Fantasy Comic League. It's headed by a guy named Brian Bradley. He does a ton of work. There are a lot of divisions. Unfortunately, Rebecca and I are in different divisions. I'm in the Genosha. Rebecca, you're in the negative zone.
I am in the negative zone, which is perfect for me.
And it's just you just try and score as many points as you can, similar to other fantasy leagues. It's a whole lot of fun, so check it out on Twitter.
It is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that the season's run for 4 months, so next season will be January, I think. So we're in the middle, kind of in the middle-ish. Of
cool!
The season.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
September, I joined mid-season.
Oh, okay, right. So jump on it if you're interested, Loonies. Anyway, Rebecca, let us get into ARACH-KNIGHT. So we have here writer Dennis Hopeless, really cool writer. Penciler Ali Garza with inker Victor Olazaba. We have colorist Ruth Redmond. Letterer VC is Joe Caramagna. Cover artist Humberto Ramos and Edgar Delgado. And there are a few variant cover artists, Humberto Ramos and Adam Kubert and Morry Hollowell. And we have, I'm looking, editor Jordan D. White. So, I don't know how we go through this, Rebecca. I guess we just do a little quick synopsis.
We'll just do a quick... First of all, let's talk about the logo.
Yes.
Because it's Moon Knight. Moon Knight font.
Moon Knight
in white. With a really, really cool turquoise and then red outline.
Yes.
Looks really nice.
Yeah,
really nice.
I didn't really pick up that turquoise, but yeah, absolutely. That looks really cool. Very nice.
One of my tattoos has a little turquoise outline. That's how I notice these things.
A tattoo of what character?
It's of Marvin the Paranoid Android.
Oh, cool.
Don't judge me.
No. I just immediately think of Alan Rickman. I think that's great.
Yeah. It's saying life, don't talk to me about life. Because I was going to get brain the size of a planet, because I thought that was funny to have on yourself. Yeah. And then a friend of mine says, come on, you actually say, don't talk to me about life. So,
so it's very, very apt for you. Yeah. I'm really glad they chose the Moon Knight font as well.
It's so distinct that it's really nice. And we have the hyphen in deference to Spider-Man.
Oh, yes. Oh, far out. Rebecca. My God, pulling out all the stops here. I just saw a title, and you're. I'm a little bit obsessed with typefaces and fonts. Yeah,
and things, so.
But it is a nice font. I tell you,
And I just want to say, beautiful lettering job in this issue. It's going to come up because each of his personalities has different lettering.
I love that. I can't think
really nice.
in Moon Knight if they've done that before.
I don't know, but I mean, like, obviously Khonshu gets his
Khonshu
own.
does, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if they have where they've all got slightly different normal typefaces.
And it just makes sense. And you have the Maker, the Ultimate Universe, Reed Richards. I think any of them.
Yes, he's always in... they were all supposed to be in lowercase until we got Miles into our universe, and then Secret Wars changed that, but the Ultimates were much more lowercase.
Yeah, I love that idea. It just distinguishes them a lot. And so, we get it here, which is really good. Art-wise, I enjoyed the art. I thought it was nice and solid. And anyway, the synopsis is it's a bit of an origin story, of course. We have young Peter Parker with his aunt and Uncle May and Ben. Peter, being a bit the sprite that he is, decides to run into a park late at night, just for larks. And there happens to be an ominous villain there. An amalgamation of Green Goblin and, how cool is this, Jack Russell.
Werewolf by Night. Yeah.
Werewolf by Night. So a lovely nod to Moon Knight there. And we later learn, no spoilers, we know who the Green Goblin is.
Yeah.
And Jack Russell, we find out it's Norman Russell. And was that what you were saying, Rebecca? I think that name just rolls off. It does, doesn't it?
But it's also like, it's so nice because Green Goblin's like the iconic Spider-Man baddie. I mean, it's one of the ones you think of straight away. Yeah. Obviously, he has lots of great baddies. But then to go with your origin story and give you Mark's first baddie... Yeah,
it's
lovely.
Very good, isn't it?
It's just really nice.
Yeah.
And they fit together because, essentially, if you haven't seen it yet, it's a furry goblin. That's how they do.
It's a furry green goblin. Which
is perfect.
It is perfect. The artist's rendition from Peter, when Peter talks to the police, though, it does come across. I think they do describe it as a werewolfy, just a green werewolf. Yeah. But so there's a mix of both there. I also like the fact as well, Rebecca, the two, Green Goblin and Werewolf by Night, they both can be seen as like sympathetic kind of villains as well. So,
and they both have human counterparts.
Yeah.
I mean, as in, Jack when he's not a werewolf, and Norman when he's not the goblin.
Yeah. So it's really good. Not so good for May and Ben, who who are on the receiving end of the green furry goblin, and they unfortunately don't make it. But cool.
Well,
sorry.
Yeah.
Oh no, go on.
Or I don't know. Just Ben dies, right? I don't know. Does he kill both of them? No, he must kill both of them.
Oh, okay. I thought, just the
It
look
says
of...
Aunt May screams as she tried to save me, but he only talks about Uncle Ben's head being twisted the wrong way around. I don't know.
True. Yeah, look, it's a bit ambiguous. I was just taking it off.
Doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter. But there was that panel there of Aunt May, and it looks like, I don't know. It looks like she's impaled on something. But something's gone wrong there.
Yeah. So she could well be dead.
She could well be dead, or she could, be just unconscious or something. But again, a lovely twist here. Peter is on the ground. He had been attacked as well. But
so he's got a big bite on his neck.
Yeah.
Or claw mark.
So similar, remember Loonies, to Moon Knight back in the late 70s when he got bitten by Werewolf by Night. That was meant to actually bring upon his moon-based powers, which gave him that extra edge and reflexes, strength, stamina. So that could well be the same for Peter, but not only that, he gets, I wouldn't say attacked, but he gets saved by
a spider.
Yeah. Would this be a Nancy, you reckon, or...?
Well, I think they're being very careful not to name as such, but something along that vein.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they want to go whole into that that mythology. Yeah. But yes, I mean it's the first one that springs to mind. But they refer to spider totems.
Spider
and stuff,
totems.
Yeah.
Which actually refers.
And they speak in the Khonshu font.
They speak. Yeah, it's awesome.
Which is what makes us think gods.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm just assuming from all.
Yeah,
kind of all
I'm
that.
assuming as well.
But the totems and all that also links to what we see, I think, currently with the Spider-Verse and Spider-Geddon with the Inheritors. There's that huge spider in the universe. I don't know if you're aware, Rebecca, that touches all
the
the webs.
I'm vaguely following it.
Yeah, it's all to do with spider totems as well. And anyway, so there's a bit of a Spider-Man mythology in there as well. Anyway, so Peter gets transformed, but it seems also that this power that he's been given and this change of the spider bite, it's kind of fractured his mind.
It's also that and the trauma
and the trauma of course. I've already forgotten about Ben and May. Of course, that as well. I mean, that would hurt anyone, wouldn't it? So Peter's pretty much left what looks to be like a shell. When the ambulance and the investigators arrive, he's soaked in blood. He doesn't really say much, I think. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
But we can see the thought bubble. So, and this is where we first get those different fonts. And it's really cool. I love the art, the close-up of young Peter's face there.
I know, I love their little red noses.
Exactly. Yeah,
so
exactly.
Cute. And you're right. There's the sketch they did based on him was he looks a bit like a werewolf. I think that's just pushing it home to you in case you didn't know about werewolf. But it's cute because sometimes you do need that nudge, and a lot of people aren't going to. Look, a lot of people reading this are going to be way more knowledgeable about Spider-Man. Well, most people will be more knowledgeable about Spider-Man than Moon Knight that read this. So it doesn't hurt to have that little.
Yeah, because
even if you didn't know Werewolf by Night, the whole beauty of Werewolf by Night is about werewolves and the moon, and there's always that attachment to Moon Knight anyway. So you'd get that there is a little nice nod there. Yeah,
exactly, and why the Green Goblin doesn't look like the Green Goblin that you're used to. So anyway, we fast forward 15 years, and we started off as a synopsis. We're pretty much kind of going as a summary.
Well, we are.
Yeah.
Well, so 15 years in the future and a truckload of antipsychotics. We see ARACH-KNIGHT in his full armor, which is fantastic.
It's awesome. It's an awesome costume.
It's beautiful costume.
Yeah.
Like, I really hope we see it again.
Yeah.
It's fab. And he's fighting Michael Morpheus.
Yeah, so...
which is another beautiful combination.
Okay, this went over my head. I know Morbius. Who? Who's the other guy?
Morbius the living vampire.
Yeah, I got
his first name's Michael.
His first name?
So Morpheus.
Oh, Morpheus.
Yeah, his name's Michael.
Morpheus. Sorry, I misread that.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
It's Michael Morpheus.
Right.
Fits so bloody well.
That is so cool. I did not pick that up. I just saw him and I just thought, oh, that's Morbius, of course. But looking at him, he's got the bug eyes of Morpheus.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
It's Michael Morpheus.
Oh, very good. Very good.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
And we get the Spider-Man quips because he's talking about Vampire the Masquerade LARPing, and
you also get the no nonsense Moon Knight.
Yeah. He's going straight for the violence, and so that's pretty cool. Apparently, what Michael Morpheus has done is stolen blood. So ARACH-KNIGHT's on his way, blah, blah, blah. Yes, the second page he actually calls him Michael Morpheus.
Yes, there it is.
I just crazy.
I just read that as Morbius. I don't know why I just went over it.
And of course, they get a little nod here. Dennis Hopeless, we love you.
Yes.
He's a little... and he says something like, you're a selfish thieving monster who turned himself into a Batman.
Yeah, exactly. I love it.
Naughty.
It is very naughty.
So now he's fought a werewolf and a vampire, which is great on the supernatural stuff. And he's basically saying, so he's shown you his fighting aspect.
Yeah. And as you say, though, I mean, there's the beautiful interweaving because, again, you can dissect it as many times as you like or get into it. But so we've got you said the werewolf and the vampire aspects. But both of them are one of each from Spider-Man, right? So you both got the supernatural aspects, but they're from each of the characters. I think that's really clever. Yeah,
it's just really nice. And then Harry comes in.
A very cool looking Harry.
Yeah. I was kind of sad that Harry didn't have a nod to Frenchie more, but he's clearly the Frenchie role here.
Yeah, he could have done with a moustache, maybe. Instead of the goatee.
I guess the problem was that they had to keep Harry tied to Norman.
Yes.
So they couldn't give him like a different surname or a different... I kind of thought they might give him a different first name, but they don't anyway. He's driving ARACH-KNIGHT's car, so he's in the Frenchie role.
Yeah.
Talks to him very much like Frenchie talks to Mark without an accent.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, okay, let's leave him. And they go off to do the next thing, which you get to see him in his smart businessman role.
Yeah.
Peter in his businessman role.
So this is more...
Stephen Grant.
It's more, Stephen Grant, but to me it kind of still exuded a bit more of the Parker Industries, Dan Slott run of Parker.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. I mean, for the Moon Knight fans, you would associate it with a Stephen Grant-esque amalgamation there. I was hoping that we would have gotten, because that's Mary Jane, right? I'm just trying to think.
Marley Jane.
Oh, it is. Oh, God. Yeah, I was about to say, it would be great if they've mixed them together, and they have. Well done, Dennis. Dennis Hopeless, you are 5 steps ahead.
It's another name that works so well because Marley and Mary are very similar names. So
yeah, oh God, I am so dumb. I did not pick up Marley and Marlene.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Can we just pause to not let Ray call himself dumb, because I reread it this afternoon,
okay.
and he hasn't read it since it first came out.
Yeah, true.
So...
yeah, but still, that's great. I'm loving how you're picking these out, Rebecca. This is cool. Yeah. It's like
somebody. I think maybe on the forums or somewhere I read was saying they would have preferred it if she'd had long hair, but I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I don't really care. No, do you?
I didn't pick up on it. I just laughed at the name. Just carried on, and to me it was. But maybe it would have been fun if she'd been blonde. Yeah, as the nod to Marlene.
I was just thinking, what do they do?
Would probably been. I think that's probably the only difference. I would maybe not make her because when you see red-haired and you see her next to someone that looks like Peter, you automatically think Mary Jane. You don't necessarily pick up that it's actually a mashup of the two, unless Marlene had bright blue eyes and Mary Jane doesn't. I don't know enough about my female characters.
Yeah, she has very big blue eyes there, so possibly.
Yeah, possibly.
But we also, a big thing to note as well. There's no Jake Lockley kind of translation, but instead we do get, and I was here on the same page, we get the scientist type.
Yeah, Scientist Peter.
Which again,
mad scientist, kind of, but not too mad, but just very focused.
No, but again, it's very clever because obviously that is an aspect of Peter Parker. Like, he's smart. And you have his Spider-Man persona, and you have his Parker Industries. So you could really compartmentalize his personalities into these. What Dennis Hopeless has done is done it literally, and again, I think that's really, really clever.
And he has glasses, obviously, for Scientist Peter.
Oh, because
glasses and mad hair.
Yeah, because all people with glasses, they're smart. So
yeah, well, I will always subscribe to
that. So what's he doing here, Rebecca? He's doing something with some fancy lights here, Equilibrium. He's
it doesn't really. Who knows? But it doesn't matter because Harry comes and pulls him away and says, "Come on, you've got to get to the airport."
Yeah. So they go into the car. Harry again, Frenchie-esque, whisks Peter away, but he's on the phone. Isn't that?
Yeah, it gets a call from his dad.
Yeah, but Peter, and I think you suspect it, but something's happening. That might not be totally.
But Peter's like, no, let's go see your dad. It's not far away. We haven't seen him in ages.
Yep. So they get to his house. Harry goes upstairs. I'm here, but Peter's spider sense goes off. There's a huge crash. And we see the return of that beautiful splash page here.
It is.
Of the green furry goblin. It's got the. I'm just wondering. Werewolf by Night. Werewolf by Night had green pants, so that wouldn't work. Yeah, otherwise you'd have all green. So he's got the purple there. But
he's got the Hulk purple.
He's got the Hulk, yeah. See, I'm wondering that might have been a point of confusion a little from some people, but maybe not. I don't know, just the colour.
Maybe. But then he is named. They do name him as Norman Russell there, so
that's true.
People could go look it up.
But it's a beautiful thing there. Peter's reaching. He runs for cover a little, reaches for his phone, and then he's got kind of Stark tech, or is this Parker technology, where
I'm guessing it's probably his tech.
Yeah, where it just kind of
the suit comes out over him.
So funny how that and Tony Stark as well with the nanotech.
Yeah.
It's a very convenient way now to get around
it. Yeah. But obviously, so the minds are fragmenting again because of the trauma of seeing the goblin that's in childhood.
Yes, absolutely. So, so Peter swings away. It's cool because he swings away, but he's still got the very Moon Knight crescent darts, or in this case...
And a lot of pouches.
A lot of pouches, yeah. And, but they're arachnid darts, it seems. But he wants to put this monster down. But again, we see all his thoughts, should we do it or not? Yeah, let's put him down.
Yeah, his whole internal conflict.
Yeah.
Being non-lethal versus killing.
So,
which is a good Spider-Man Moon Knight conflict there.
It is definitely, because they could not be further apart in their MOs. So it's kind of like Daredevil and the Punisher, right? So So anyway, it's a big chase. It's a huge action scene. Harry, he takes the car, but he loses control, and unfortunately, he whumps into a tree, and the Green Goblin, I'll just call it, is causing havoc in the park. Of course, people are picnicking.
Of course.
And so he disrupts...
Day or night.
Day or night, exactly.
Always a pain. Because the moon's out. They're having a nice midnight feast.
Oh, gosh.
People do it.
Yeah, in the dark.
Maybe.
A full packed, could be. Why not? It is a big park, Central Park. Big full moon.
But Scientist Pete takes over, and he's terrible at everything. Over.
He's
but he does have his fight or flight, and he does start to do a punching match with the Goblin.
He does, because not before the Goblin kind of scratches away some of his mask.
Yeah.
So he's in a lot of trouble, but thankfully, fight or flight, he takes charge, and then towards the end though, we get a bit of a surprise. I was surprised at this. Were you expecting this, Rebecca?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Well, I was expecting something to break it up. Maybe not this, but...
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I think I was expecting Harry to break up the fight. Obviously, blood is thicker than water, so he would be saving his dad.
He electrocutes our ARACH-KNIGHT.
Yeah.
Gets him off the Goblin.
And another really good bit of artwork here. I'm just trying to... I don't know the person off by heart. Garza. Ali Garza.
Yeah,
and
I don't
Olazaba.
know any of his other stuff.
It's really good. I really do like it.
Yeah.
It reminds me of... There's a little bit of is it Otley?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. It reminds me a bit of that. So anyway, ARACH-KNIGHT is kind of subdued, still alive, still conscious, and he sees before his very eyes the Norman Russell turning.
Yeah, he sees the transformation.
Yeah.
But so Harry has a bit of a heartfelt thing, leaving Peter on the ground with his internal voices, kind of arguing about why Harry's betrayed them.
Yeah.
So second part is going to be interesting.
Yes.
That's the to be continued moment.
To be continued, and a very, very cool, I think, first... there was enough origin there, but there was enough, pushing forward of the story to make this a fulfilling enough issue, I thought, for issue 1.
I thought so, yeah. I mean, they're all pretty short, and they're all just a bit of fun.
But I mean,
but
I think this is really perfectly...
I enjoyed
kind of spread
it a lot.
out. Yeah, because
I think Hopeless is great, and it'll be interesting to see what he does with this feeling of betrayal now.
But you can kind of see it wrap up in one issue now as well. It hasn't left too many things up in the air, so it's really rocking at a good pace, I think. So that was ARACH-KNIGHT number 1. And I'm just looking at the last page. The next one comes out.
Yeah, I'm looking at that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, the next one's out must be in a couple of weeks' time.
Just as November, so a couple of weeks. It should be a hoot. We get the cover for ARACH-KNIGHT 2, and it's a bit more of a goblin look. He's on the goblin glider, and we get more of that fantastic ARACH-KNIGHT, Moon Knight costume. So there you go, loonies.
Oh my god, so there you go, like, Infinity Wars, not even the countdown to, started in July, and it won't be over till December.
Isn't that crazy? Half a year. Infinity Wars Prime.
Because we had the countdown
as well.
Six weeks before that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So that's,
a
good
much,
half.
Too much. I love you, but too much.
Yeah. What is this? I see Fallen Guardian. Do you know that? Oh, is that's the Who's Gonna Die?
Where that's the Who's Gonna Die.
Okay.
Before the new Guardians of the Galaxy starts in January.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And we forgot about Ghost Panther because that one hasn't started yet. So that should be fun.
But that should be really good. Yeah, that's this month as well. So definitely going to pick that up. Yeah, and so as I said, the only real disappointment so far has been Weapon Hex. Which is unfortunate. But it's good to hear Soldier Supreme's good. So it sounds like nearly all of them are pretty good.
They've been fun.
Yeah. Rebecca, I guess ratings-wise, moon rating. Let's stick to a moon, ARACH-KNIGHT moon.
Oh, I can't remember how your moon ratings go.
I
don't think I've done one since you put in the rating.
I don't know. I've just gone totally crazy with it. Look, it just could be out of 10.
Very complicated.
Out of 10.
Hey, what would I give it out of 10? I solid. I don't know, 7. 7 or 7.5. I mean, it's not like I wouldn't go out and like really go read this comic, but it's fun and it's does its job.
Yeah, it's not going to stick in your head for days and be something that you're just floored by. But I was about to say 7.5. I thought would be good.
That's because you're kind, doesn't mean that works. Then if you're going to say 7.5, I'm definitely saying 7 because you're nice.
Well, I wouldn't give it 8 or 9.
No.
It's not.
It really is a fun diversion.
Yeah.
And if you wanted loads of Moon Knight stuff, you're not getting it. Like, it's more of a it is an amalgam. And what some of the other ones have done is maybe the other one has been a bit more prominent in the second one, so we may see a bit more Moon Knight in the second one.
Okay. Well, I mean, but we got
who knows?
We got the Jack Russell. We got Morpheus.
Yeah, we got quite a lot. We got Marley.
Yeah, we're only missing Frenchie. I really want to.
Really, yeah.
There should be some nod.
And Harry very much was playing that role. It was just
he was, but he was very much Harry.
I guess they didn't
want
to rename him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they had to keep him Son of Norman, I guess.
Yeah, they could have at least done something like Harry. Oh, how your French lessons going? I don't know, something silly. A little nod. But no, Dennis Hopeless has done really well with this. So worth checking out. And Looney's digital. It's on Comixology at the moment. You can get it as a single issue, as Rebecca mentioned as well. It eventually will make its way to a trade. So if you just want to wait for that, by all means, and it should no doubt be on Marvel Unlimited if you have the subscription. So check it out. There you go. Well, this being a short, sharp episode, because we are trying to fit this under the new moon phase, which I believe is on the Thursday, which is when you'll be hearing this. Just want to thanks Rebecca for joining for this little chat.
Thank you. It's always nice when we can make our time zones work.
Yeah, it is good. It is difficult to try and get, but you're quite amenable. So, Rebecca, I mean, like you are awake at, although it is a decent hour for you now, isn't it? It's like
now it's lunchtime.
Yeah,
so this is good.
But you work crazy.
Normally
hours.
it's the other way around. I work crazy hours.
Yeah. So But anyway, thanks again, Rebecca. Hopefully we'll see you in some more future episodes. Quickly, Loonies, we might as well make this a formal thing. You can contact us on itkmoonnight@gmail.com. We have a blog site, Into the Night Podcast wordpress.com. We're on Facebook page, facebook.com/ITK Moon Knight. We have a fantastic group, ever growing. It's on facebook.com/groups/ITK Moon Knight. We have a Twitter handle @ITK Moon Knight, and we're on Instagram, Tumblr, YouTube. Just search for Into the Night with a K and Moon Knight Podcast. Finally, we should be on all major, podcast catches, so hopefully, well, if you're hearing this, you found us. Yes. So as always, it's been, thank you so much for listening in. This is about our third episode in about a week, Rebecca. We've gone a bit crazy this week, but we were thrown out a little by our cool interview with Max Bemis a couple of weeks ago, so we just had to do a bit of catching up. Conchu needs to be satiated with the phases of the moon, so we had to do it. Anyway, loonies, thank you very much, and we'll catch you in the next episode. May Conchu watch over the denizens of the night. See ya.
Bye.
Moon Knight and affiliated characters, stories and events are properties of Marvel Characters Incorporated. Materials used and discussed within the podcast are intended for critique and review purposes only under the fair dealing concept of the current Copyright Act. The views, information or opinions expressed during the podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of the copyright owners.